Tyrone Bowman Live. I'm your host, Tyrone Bowman. For those of you, I think I said this last night, but I want to say it again tonight. For those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, Tyrone Bowman Live, thank you very much. For all of you who have been commenting in the comment section, I appreciate it very much. The pros and the cons. It's all good in my world. And as always, I bring you news slash commentary. I talk about things that's already in the news. I don't make stuff up on my own. Anything I bring before the camera and talk about, it's already been previously recorded, and I talk about it, I analyze it, and I add personal commentary along with it at the same time. So having said that, tonight I'm going to get started. In this segment, I want to talk about the death of the late actor Matthew Perry. As you know, several individuals have been arrested with the death of the late actor. So this is going to be somewhat serious. I'm not going to be doing too much personal commentary with this story. Okay. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the headline reads, Matthew Perry death probe brings charges against his assistant, two doctors, and ketamine queen. Authorities arrested the two main defendants in an investigation they say unearthed a broad quote, underground criminal network, close quote, that killed the Friends star. Now that's sad to know. Well, all right, let me continue here. Matthew Perry's live-in assistants, two doctors and a woman dubbed the Ketamine Queen, are among the 5 people indicted and charged in the investigation into the actor's death, which unearthed a, quote, broad and underground criminal network, close quote, a coalition of law enforcement agencies announced at a press conference in L.A. on Thursday. Jasmine Sangha, the 41-year-old woman prosecutors referred to as the Ketamine Queen, and Salvador Placina, also known as Dr. P, who worked as a physician at an urgent care center, are the lead defendants in the case. Sangha, I probably pronounced it wrong, is accused of maintaining a stash house in North Hollywood where thousands of dollars worth of illegal drugs were discovered. When a warrant was executed there in March, according to a superseding indictment filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. The two are charged with conspiracy to distribute. The two are charged with conspiracy to distribute ketamine, distribution of ketamine resulting in death, possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, altering and falsifying records related to a federal investigation, and other charges. Both were arrested and taken into custody Thursday morning, according to authorities. I wonder what took so long for them to be arrested. The police probably suspected something in the very beginning. The Friends star assistant Kenneth Wamasa, along with Eric Fleming, who had been described as a friend of Perry's, and a street drug dealer, and another doctor, Mark Chavez, have accepted lower charges during court dates in August. Placina was working with Dr. Chavez to obtain ketamine, which he would then provide to Mamsa, who then would inject the ketamine into Perry. What is going on here? From September 2023 until his October 28, 2023 death, the three worked to distribute approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Perry for $55,000, authorities said on Thursday. Quote, these defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong, Estra said at a Thursday press conference. They knew what they were doing was risking great danger to Mr. Perry, but they did it anyway. In the end, these defendants were more interested in profiting, close quote. You know, the late Mr. Perry was very candid during his lifetime, you know, about his substance addiction and how he was seeking treatment And these individuals right here, if what has been reported in the Hollywood Reporter, then you know what? First degree murder charges must apply. Estrada said that over 2 weeks in October, Singha is alleged to have sold approximately 50 vials of ketamine for around $11,000 in cash. She worked with Fleming and Perry's assistant to distribute the ketamine. Authorities searching the phones belonging to all of the defendants found text messages using encrypted apps, including Signal, that detailed the network they developed that led to Perry's death. The criminal probe, launched in May, included investigators with Los Angeles Police Department, the Drug Enforcement Administration, and the U.S. Postal Service. Detectives indicated they were tracing the actor's procurement of the illegal drug, which has been used recreationally for decades, but has recently been discovered as broadly useful in the treatment of depression. Perry's body was found by an assistant after he had drowned in a swimming pool, a hot tub, at his specific Palaces home on October 28, 2023, after the legal dose of ketamine caused him to have cardiovascular overstimulation, respiratory depression, according to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. The amount of ketamine found in his blood was about the same as what could be used during general anesthesia, the medical examiner said. The office lists the acute effects of the drug as the main cause of his death and added drowning, coronary artery disease, and the effects of, I can't even pronounce this word, so I'll just spell it, buprE, norphine. That's the only part I can, buprenorphine, a drug used to treat opioid use, as contributing factors. Estrada said on Thursday that it was Shanghai who sold the batch of ketamine that resulted in Perry's death. According to the indictment against her, officers searched her LA home and found what amount to a drug selling emporium there. The search turned up 80 vials of ketamine, 1,000 pills containing methamphetamine, cocaine, and bottles of Xanax, and other illegally obtained prescription drugs. He told reporters a ledger of names and weights were also found in her home, Estrada added. The DEA, or the Drug Enforcement Agency, has also filed a drug distribution charge related to the death of Cody McClean, a 33-year-old who died after being sold the deadly narcotic by Shanghai in 2019. Yet, she continued to distribute massive amounts of a variety of illegal drugs. Despite this tragedy, Estrada noted at the press conference. Well, why wasn't she arrested a long time ago? Why was she even allowed to continue to remain on the streets if they knew that she was a drug peddler, a street pharmacist, quote unquote? If they knew that this woman was involved in all this illegal activity, then why did the LAPD allow her to continue? You know, somebody said because this county sucks. You know what? You're probably right. This is crazy. Seriously, this makes no kind of sense. Now all of a sudden they're concerned about the late actor Matthew Perry. Well, why didn't they do something while he was alive? You know, often too many times, and this is the truth. Often too many times, I know too many people during their lifetime they were neglected, abused, taken advantage of, and then when they passed away, everybody had a whole lot to say about it. So the defendants are alleged to have admitted to cover up what they had done after reading news reports of Perry's death. After Perry's death, Plea allegedly falsified medical records and notes to legitimize his practices concerning the star. There's no alleged in it he did falsify records. Fleming, who is 54, pleaded guilty last Thursday to one count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine and one count of distribution of ketamine resulting in death. He admitted in court documents that he distributed the lethal ketamine dose from Shanghai and distributed 50 vials of ketamine to Wamasa. who's 59, pleaded guilty on August 7th to one count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine causing death. He admitted to the court that he repeatedly injected Perry with the drug and had no medical training other than instructions given to him by Dr. Plea. He performed multiple injections on Perry on the day the actor died. Chavez, 54, pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine. In his plea deal, he admits to selling ketamine to Placina, including some diverted from a ketamine clinic he had owned. He also made false representation to a wholesale ketamine distributor and used a phony prescription for ketamine loosening lodges using the name of a former patient. After his death, friends confirmed that Perry was undergoing ketamine therapy. However, the actor's most recent session had been a week and a half before his death, according to the medical examiner's report. No other drugs were found in Perry's system, and there was no paraphernalia discovered in his home, officials said. In his memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, Perry wrote about undergoing ketamine therapy. Quote, "I often thought that I was dying during that hour," he said. "Oh, I thought this is what happens when you die. Yet I would continually sign up for this or he said for this shit, because it was something different, and anything different is good," close quote. He added, quote, "Taking K is like being hit in the head with a giant happy shovel. But the hangover was rough and outweighed the shovel. Ketamine was not for me," close quote. Perry had been open about his decades-long struggles with addiction to alcohol and opioids, recalling in his 2022 memoir how at the height of his addiction, which was during his later years on the classic NBC sitcom, he was taking 50 Vicodin pills a day. Whew. According to the medical examiner's report after his death, a psychiatrist and an anesthesiologist who also served as Perry's primary care physician were the medical professionals known to be treating Perry in October. Neither were named in the indictment released on the story. So this story was first published on August 15th at 7:37 a.m. This is one of the saddest stories I've had to report in a long time here on Tyrone Bowman Live. Actor Matthew Perry is dead because people took advantage of his opioid addiction. So let's hope that there won't be any more cases like this. Thank you for watching. Never surrender.